One time my sister visited me in Madrid about 10 years ago, and she told me, we were in the kitchen and I was preparing food, and she said, "Winilas ka lang sa buhay." And I looked at her and said, "No, I obeyed God and served God. That's the reason why I am where I am. It's not because of luck or anything. You see, as I said yesterday, your life is where it is right now based on the decisions you have made.
Yes. Yes.
And there are people, we're always going to make decisions in life.
Yeah.
There are always going to be crossroads in life. And there are no GPSs. The only way is for you to have the right principle in life to make right decisions. One day our children will be making decisions. Some of them will be stupid ones and some of them will be good ones. The only way we can equip our children is to teach them what is right and what is wrong. And based on that, they can make good decisions. Good decisions have good consequences, and bad decisions have bad consequences. All the time. You don't have to be a Christian to do so. You have to learn physics. For every action, there's always... Okay. Yes, ma'am. So, my sister said, you became lucky. I said, no. That's not the way I look at it. At one point in time, you and I will be given such an opportunity to follow Jesus and to serve God in different capacities. When we say serving God, you don't have to be a bishop, you don't have to be a priest, you don't have to be a deacon, unless God is calling you to do so. You can be an architect and be a great Christian. You can be a nurse and serve people who are suffering. You can be an engineer and be a wonderful Christian. You can be a businessman and be a wonderful Christian. You can be a politician, that I'm not sure. So, we serve God in different capacities. And that's the reason why the church will grow and will thrive. And the church will touch many people's lives because of people like you willing to serve God. And some people are afraid of when we say, serve the Lord. Serving God? I want God to serve me, but my serving the Lord? No way. Well, there are times and occasions, my brothers and sisters, that the gospel is not like winning the lotto. Today, Jesus says, unless you hate your family, you cannot follow me. Unless you're willing to give up everything, you cannot follow me. I wish I could make it really nicer, but there is no way to sugarcoat what Jesus Christ is saying. That's something that makes us think of what Christianity is really all about. Now, I cannot get into the details and the nitty-gritty of the discussion. Now, one thing, let me just say two things. One is Jesus is using hyperbole. Hyperbole is the exaggerating something to catch people's attention. Like when Jesus said, if your eye causes you to sin, pluck it out. Now, Jesus is really not asking you to pluck your eyes. You can pluck the guitar, but not your eyes. Okay? But Jesus is using an exaggerated language. We call it hyperbole. An exaggerated language to say, this is what it takes to follow, not even to serve God. Say, to be my disciple. So if I want to be a disciple of Jesus, God is not telling you to hate your mother and father. He says, you cannot love them more than you love me. That's what Jesus is saying. Jesus is not saying for you to be poor and not have possessions. What Jesus is saying, you cannot love possessions more than you love you. You cannot love your life more than me. You cannot love the world more than me. You have to love me, and then you can love other things. Nothing should be in between. So, when we are asked to serve the Lord in different capacities, we always think of the paradigm of a slave and a dictator relationship. Let me tell you this. When we ask to serve God, He invites us to participate in the miraculous, loving providence that He pours upon humanity in many people's lives in this earth. See, many times when we say, I'm going to serve God, you talk about, do this, do that, I'm a servant. No, that's not the way God looks at servanthood. Servanthood is changing people's lives. He served us and He changed us. So, to serve God is a privilege and not a burden. And I want to say this to those of you, those of us who are serving the Lord one way or another. Pag naging burden na, when serving God becomes a burden, you better start checking your heart. Because serving God is a privilege, never a burden. Would you turn to your neighbor and say, serving God is a privilege and not a burden. The privilege of serving God is the reward of serving itself. We can look at several scriptures. Joshua chapter 24 and verse 15. Joshua spoke to the children of Israel and he said, choose now this day whom you are going to serve. And Joshua used, and which has been repeated many times, which he said emphatically with real heart conviction. He said, but as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And many of us have echoed those words of Joshua. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Matthew chapter 8, verse 14 to 15. Jesus goes to the house of Peter's mother-in-law. When he saw the mother-in-law of Peter lying sick, by the way, Peter has a mother-in-law, okay? Lying sick with fever, he touched her and he healed her. And then what she did, immediately she rose and served. Many people who serve God realize that God has done something in their lives. Reasons why people hesitate to serve God, or rather, let me not say hesitate, but reasons why we need to serve God. Jesus healed and transformed our lives in many different ways. And the only way we can thank Him is by serving Him. It is a privilege to serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Thirdly, it is better to serve God than to serve self. Jesus, if there is a reason for you to say, I'm going to serve God, is because one day, isang araw, un jour, un dia, Jesus died on the cross to serve you. And if my God can do that to me, how come I cannot do it to Him? So Jesus served us. Following and serving Jesus is a response to Him who loved us unconditionally. I know that there are those of you who are serving God, and I remember when I started to serve in the church, my mom became very upset because I was always gone. One Christmas Eve, she said, her rule to me was, whatever happens, once you can still see our roof, you have to come home. Don't sleep somewhere else. You come home as long as you can see our roof. And so she prepared Christmas Eve, she prepared chicken. We were very poor by then. She prepared chicken, small little pieces of chicken, and I forgot to come home. So when I arrived the next day, she did not eat, and the table was prepared. She did not eat. So I knew I was in trouble. So she woke up, and she started, rah, 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 rah. And the next thing I did was I said, get thee behind me, Satan. I was a Christian. I was quoting the scriptures. The next thing I found out was there were flying saucers. And I was covering myself, like this. And so never tell your mother, get behind me, Satan. She was becoming jealous because I was no longer spending time with her, and I was more spending time with my friends, and particularly the church. My brothers and sisters, there are those of you who are called to serve in different capacities, to the point that sometimes your partner in life begin to say, you don't have time for me. You're always in the church serving God. Now, I don't have good answers, but I'm going to quote my wife here. She told me one time, she said, I know you love me because you love Jesus. When you stop loving Jesus, you may stop loving me. He said, one reason why I know you're going to love me is because you love God so much. So my brothers and sisters, especially wives, if your husbands are serving the Lord, you should be happy. Instead na nasa barkada, nakikipag-inom na nagsusugal, they are serving the Lord, and support them in their service to God, because the blessing is not only upon Him, but upon your family. Amen? Amen? Amen. Otherwise, send your wife back to the Philippines. Return to sender. No, you know I'm joking. She said what, in essence, she was saying is, I see that you love God, and so I have a good chance that because of that love, you will love me in the same way. But she said, I would be worried if you begin to cheat your love for God. I'll be worried about that. So, my brothers and sisters, ladies, rejoice when your husbands are serving the Lord. That's where you want them to be. Don't be their bishop. So let's look at the life of Peter. Peter was a very interesting character. He was a fisherman by trade, called by Jesus to come and follow him to become a fisher of men. Peter's character was quite colorful and interesting at best. He was very enthusiastic, emphatic, daring, very emotional, belligerent at times, and very courageous and daring. He witnessed many miracles that Jesus did, from healing, raising people from the dead, and feeding of the multitude. He witnessed the transfiguration of Christ. He was the one who received from the Gospel of Matthew, saying, who do you people say that I am? And he was the one who told Jesus, you are the Son of the living God. What a remarkable life Peter had. He was also daring in correcting Jesus when Jesus was speaking about his death, arrest, crucifixion, and death on the cross. He said, no way am I going to let you be crucified, Jesus. Absolutely no way. Over my dead body. And Jesus turned to him and said, get me behind me, Satan. That's what I was telling you about. Jesus can say that, but you never say it to your wife or your mother. When Jesus was arrested at the Garden of Gethsemane, he took out a sword and was ready to fight because he was not going to allow Jesus to be arrested. And Peter followed Jesus all the way to the high court of the priest. But something happened. When he was waiting, perhaps out of curiosity and love for his Lord, a servant girl turned to Peter and said, hindi ba kasama ka nun? Aren't you part of Jesus that now is arrested? He's a lunatic, he's a crazy man. Aren't you part of him? And Peter said, no, I don't know him. No, you are from Galilee also. You know Jesus. Jesus. Some people have said they saw you're on Facebook with this guy. You were on Instagram with this guy. I said, no, that was a mistake, that was fake news. And thirdly, no, someone said, because this girl called, said, di ba si Peter was with Jesus? Said, yeah, but he's denying it. No, he said, Peter said, no. And the cock crowed. And he was reminded of what his Lord said, Peter, one day you are going to deny me. You say you're going to follow me. You say that you will die for me. But Peter, one day, your courage will betray you, Peter. Now, Peter, we might say, well, that's Peter, that's not me. But Peter, my brothers and sisters, is a symbol of humanity. It's a symbol of you and a symbol of me. It is great when all things are going well that we can make all the promises. As there's a saying, you will know a person not in good times but in difficult times. Amen? That's when you will know the person. Not in good times but in difficult times. The character of the person, the real color of a person's heart will come out when in difficult times kasama mo pa siya o hindi. I went and visited one of our bishops. They were vacationing in Italy, and she was sitting on a, yung lounger, which means it's seats that these chairs near a swimming pool. Remember that you can sunbathe? The thing broke, and she broke her neck. She fell and broke her neck. And last Thursday, I saw her husband feeding her because she cannot feed herself. What do you do when those things happen? They've been married for 52 years. They're 70 and 71 years old. Difficult times for marriage. That's when you begin to see the true love and commitment of a husband or a wife. So you will know a person not in good times but in difficult times. Proverbs says, when you are rich, everyone is there for you, but when you become poor, there's not going to be anyone there for you. That's what Proverbs says. And we cannot miscalculate. Sometimes that our heart deceives us. We say many things, but when push comes to shove or when difficult time comes, am I still going to serve God? Am I still going to follow God? Am I still going to come to the church? There was this competition of people jumping from skyscrapers, and so it was a religious competition. First was the Buddhist. He jumped from 100th floor, and before he touched the ground, he was calling Buddha all the time. And guess what? He did not die. Came another religion, called his God, and he did not die. When it came to the Christian, he said, when he jumped, Jesus, 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 nung malapit siya, Buddha, Buddha, Buddha na rin. That's a joke, but you get the message. You know where you will find Jesus? You don't find Jesus when everything is okay. Actually, you will find more Jesus when things are really going bad. Because He's always with you. So, you see this incident of Peter. Peter went home and wept. He was in deep sadness and saying, how could I ever do this to my Lord? How? Why did I do it? Why did I fail? He was so embarrassed. Very embarrassed. He was filled with deep sadness. His courage betrayed him at this very important moment in his ministry and his relationship with Jesus. Are you following me? I'm going to end here in a few moments. And Jesus was resurrected from the dead. And in the Gospel of John, one time they were having Eucharist. Jesus turned to Peter. He said, Peter, do you love me? How many times have we betrayed, in one way or another, and denied the love of God? But you know what? You'll always hear God turn to you again and say, do you love me? He gave Peter a second chance. God is a God of second chances. Even if we fail, God again turns to us and say, come, serve me again, Peter, in this capacity. I mean, if I were in the place of Jesus, I would have trust this guy. He made me money big time. You know, when the business was okay, he was withdrawing all the money. When the business was in need, he was gone. No, I'm not going to trust him. You know, sabi na, total knockout. But you know what? Jesus turned to Peter again and said, Peter, I'm going to give you another chance. My brothers and sisters, many of us are called to serve God in different capacities. And sometimes the feeling of unworthiness is what hinders us from serving God. Your unworthiness is, your serving God is not dependent on your unworthiness, but dependent on the worthiness of what Christ has done for us. And today, God wants us to be given a second chance. Amen? Amen. How many times, Lord, give me work. I have to pay for this building, and I will serve you for the rest of my life. Tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? I'm also a human being. We promise the sun, the moon, and the stars when things are tough. But when we are out of that difficult situation, we forget about our promises. Hello? I'm speaking not to you, I'm speaking to me. That's humanity. But today, my brothers and sisters, not because God is putting us on the spot. God knows His promises. We need to be reminded of how much God loves us. And if ever we fail to serve God, we need to stand up again and serve Him even more. Amen? Because God is a God of second chances. Amen. Would you turn to your neighbor and say, God is a God of second chances? God, if you simply give me a job that will provide for my family, I'm going to give you the sun and the moon and the stars. Well, don't give it because it's not yours. You don't have the right to give it to someone else because it's not yours. It's God's. So don't take what is His and give it back to Him. But today, my brothers and sisters, you and I are called to serve God in different capacities, but we are all called to serve God. So, this might be a reminder, not a condemnation, a reminder to many of us. We have made a lot of commitments, but today God is saying, okay, let's reaffirm our commitment. Like, we don't say renewal of vows because a vow that you make to your wife doesn't have any expiration. We say reaffirmation of marriage vows, reaffirmation of ordination vows. Why? Because it never expires. So I'm going to ask you to sing with me a song. Means it's time for me to shut up. I'm going to ask you to sing it. Are you following me? Are you blessed this morning? Okay. We're going to sing a song that says the greatest thing in all my life is knowing you, loving you, and serving you. Let's stand up.